And he has the ability to attack the opponent on his own, like some kind of assist trophy. Cool, right? No, cause that nitwit just don't work. Like, please, bro, do something. In recent years, we've seen a renaissance of the platform genre. When you think about it, before 2015, you only had Smash Bros leading the scene. All the others were like doing shit for some reason, and this genre was kind of seen as cursed, as it seemed that only Nintendo had the right formula. Thankfully, people that play Smash Bros grew, and then they made game, and it's the case for Dan Fornace, creator of the rival of either license. A platform fighter taking inspiration from games like Melee to create a plat fight easy to play, hard to master, and with a bold game design. And one part of this bold design can be seen in the wacky cast of characters, all with their very own gameplay and gimmicks. Now what I mean by gimmicks? More than what usually separates a character like his normals and specials. A gimmick in Rivals is more like a move or a status effect specific to a character. I mean, Zetterburn burn effect, Raster airstream, Krag like whole moveset.
Yeah, it's like his whole shtick.
And the topic of this video, smoke and clone and charge and combust. Yeah, today we're gonna talk about Forsburn, the elder son of the Fireland royalty and second fire representation, is a smoke-bending hyena using his element to deceive his opponents. He is a well-rounded character, kind of a swordy, really good at controlling the airspace with his fast aerial and his cap. He is kind of a fan favorite, especially since he's been the main of the greatest rival player to touch the controller, of course. And with such a cool design and such reps, the future of this character was looking beautiful. You could maybe think that he was one of the most played. Nobody's playing, and I completely blame it on his gimmicks. In addition to his solid and simple moveset, Forsburn was given 3 gimmicks, reflecting the idea of deception in the character: smoke, clone, and combust. I mean, there's Charge.So, you can say Charge and Combust are different, but you get it. Those are essential gimmicks wherever in disadvantage, neutral, or advantage. And oh, hard. I consider smoke to be the center of all his gimmicks as it interacts with the other ones. When pressing neutral B, forward tilt, or releasing a special pummel, one or multiple clouds of smoke would appear on the stage around your character or the opponent. This smoke got different effects. One of the basic is that it hides Forsburn. Yeah, I said Forsburn, as the opponent force also benefit from the smoke. You can see the first positive of this move. You can go in and out of the burst range. Really cool in a game that reward advantage that much, but it's important to note that you stay invisible as long as you don't input an attack. Another effect of this hazard is that your character is immediately actionable after an up B, the teleport. Also, you can use it twice, I think it's important to notice. Making smoke a primary tool for recovery. Sometimes can be a double-edged sword, especially when you're gonna pick up the character. But from a non-scrub perspective, smoke is the GOAT of stage. First thing you might think is that, well, it sounds OP. And, well, it is, kinda. When the stage is heavily shrouded in smoke, force get a lot of leverage in neutral. Although you can estimate the position of force through the camera zoom, but that's not the main counter. No, if you want the smoke gone, you're gonna have to punch the air. Yeah, beat his ass. Basically forcing your opponent to whiff. Well, unless they like the smoke in some way. It creates a situation where your opponent has to be careful about what move he presses and where he presses it. Not trying to hit a dash attack or worse, a cap. Sounds like a very scary situation to be in on the paper, but there's a lot of nuance and parameter to the smoke. Firstly, the concept itself. Smoke doesn't spread magically on stage. Your character has to occupy this square of the stage, meaning you can't just smoke camp or else it's just gonna look like this. No, don't try to close that one, gang. Don't do that. You know this is self-promotion time, so if you like this video, sub, like, follow the Twitter too. I don't repost like that, but you know, my code is that, and yeah, go back to your video. Second thing to take in consideration is the frame rate. Smoke is a 10 frame starting move. Nothing wrong about that. It just means that you will most of the time have to commit. Commit to either giving the center stage to the opponent or commit to releasing the pressure that you had during your advantage. The best and indisputable position to use smoke is when the opponent is off stage, especially since it opens to recovery options if you're trying to edge guard. Also after a kill and after you died, of course. But you understand that smoke is in reality not that oppressive. It really depends on the matchup. Also how bad people are at dealing with smoke, but Claren is in hell with smoke on stage. It's a losing matchup, but hey, you know, I guess. The real downfall of the smoke is projectiles. Rogue, by example, demolish the smoke. Like, don't bother, just put the combust in the back. Maple beats smoke, Rastor beats smoke, kinda, and a lot of the cast beat smoke or have a decent counterplay, if they know how to play. It's really weird because this option that looks so strong can get counterplays so easily, in fact, if you know what you do. It ended up being at high level kind of gimmicky. Besides parry bait on projectile, smoke is really only useful off stage. I do think that smoke on stage plus teleport got potential. I'ma find a way, but that's the limitation of this option. And I don't see it getting buffed, of course. Maybe if they had whiff flag on aerial, then maybe, but I'ma be honest, you're not trying to see that. However, if you start playing the character, don't hesitate to smoke the place. People dead don't know how to fight against it. But that's not all, as smoke is not only a move, but it's a resource.
That man worked himself to the bones, but not to the grave. You are watching Rifles of Heater.
Use code EPOCH on all your sales. By using down B, Forsburn can absorb a square of smoke, with a limit of 3 charges. That, when achieved, give you access to empower versions of your moves, such as neutral B and side B. It also gives you access to Combust. Let's start with Empowered Smoke Spewer. Offstage, this move gonna be your lifeline, as this version of the move immediately releases smoke all around the character, occupying more space and allowing you to go higher than the point where you release the smoke. And on some matchup heavily oriented around edgeguard, this charge is a must-have. The second empower move is Side B, and it might be the right time to talk about Clone. Side B for second gimmick, a move that spawns a clone that will either follow you or your opponent. This clone, if hit, will disappear and release smoke. But if the player presses down B, the clone will explode and push the opponent away. Presented like that, you could think that it's gimmicky. No, Clone is the GOAT, and maybe one of the best special in the game. Let's start with the basic. If smoke is useful off stage, Clone is basically unavoidable, as it gives Force the possibility to dash toward the stage or the wall, offering you many different options. It also gives you cover, as when you pop it off stage, the clone will most likely use a B toward the opponent or the ledge, putting confusion and a hitbox at the faces of your opponent. You see, while clone cannot attack the opponent, the a B pop avoid this rule, so it is most of the time a riskless reversal. The only downside is the startup that leaves you vulnerable, but even there is a mix-up, so...
Well, not against Crag. You know that thing too, that's what is insane.
On disadvantage, clone can be used to land as it distracts your opponent, and it also can just be popped for a follow-up or as an edgeguard tool. Really useful against opponents that recover from beneath, so Claren. I say that it's a losing matchup, and you might say what you mean by that, but you're not gaslighting me. I'm not winning this matchup. Clone is a quintessential tool for every Forsburn. Even out of the situations that I stated, just sending a clone in neutral can unlock you a lot of situations or deal cheap damage, and it's most of the time completely safe. There is a few downsides, like the move having a cooldown, but if you're being pushed off stage, you most likely can stall with neutral B. Also, while having the clone out, you cannot release nor stack up your smoke, but it doesn't really matter that much. In reality, clone and smoke works together. Most of the time you will use smoke before you clone, and then let the opponent guess. The issue can rise from the third member of the gimmicky trio that sometimes just seems like it works against them: empowerment. When smoke is stacked, Forsburn becomes empowered. Like I said, bigger smoke spewer, combust, and an empower side B. The downside being that the smoke that was already here on the stage, well, will disappear. And if you want to release it, well, you gotta uncharge yourself, so that's gonna defeat the point. And with how situational smoke on stage is, you will only spew it back off stage, let's be realistic. So you forget smoke till you can find the situation, that's fine. But you also forget clone. I mean, kinda. When empowered, side B gives you a super clone. The difference being that this clone don't disappear after a side B dash, the pop is way stronger, and he has the ability to attack the opponent on his own, like some kind of assist trophy. Cool, right? No, cause that nitwit just don't work. Like, please, bro, do something. Like, please.
No, like, look at this. Look. It didn't even release smoke! I didn't even, you could do that? You can't do that?
No pressure, no game, no ball. Like, throwing him is just gambling. Let's be fair. Using him for an edge guard tool is not bad. It's just, that's a lot to spend for something that can be sometime, most of the time, all the time, tech. Especially knowing you could keep your charge for Combust, an explosion pushing the opponent in the opposite direction of where he gets it. Which means you can kill vertically, horizontally, and also you can spike. This is this diversity and explosiveness that makes this character such a menace. So many options, so many mix-up, so many potentials, so many, like what the fuck? Forsburn gimmicks are confusing to get into. They are essential, scary, but sometimes disposable. When picking up the character, you will realize how essential smoke is at recovery, how strong Combust is, but you will later realize how much you give away by focusing too much on smoke, how much charging Combust prevents you from applying pressure, how much force really don't need that much to kill.
And this is what I'm talking about, with that creativity!
Then you will find the matchup where smoke on stage is important, and then you will find the matchup where being empowered is way better. That's a lot of habits to build, destroy, adapt, and you have to put in consideration like what the other character gimmicks are. Like, you go faster, you get an item, you sweet spot stuns, what? All those nuances make Force an interesting and enjoyable character to master, but really hard to start. Like, let me emphasize this for those who tryna start Forsburn. Like, you cannot be lazy on your recovery, like ever. Or your game will just look like this.
Yeah, so I didn't record the sound of the game, my bad.
But you see how I didn't talk about Clone though. Clone is dead, the GOAT. Clone is, hey, Clone, hey. But tell me, what do you think? Do you believe that there's a character with weirder gimmick? Do you believe that smoke is underused? I'm looking like that, but hey, we'll see.
Oh yeah, that's the end of the video. I didn't do a natural. You get out, sub and get out.
Okinawa shit, I came from the south side. You got a problem, we taking it outside. Niggas gon' front cause they looking for clout, fine, losing they principles, nigga, I'm bout mine. Okinawa shit, I came from the south side. You got a problem, we taking it outside. Niggas gon' front cause they looking for clout, fine, losing they principles, nigga, I'm bout